Hello and welcome back to All Out of Bubblegum, the podcast, or whatever we decide to call this. It was a little bit of a break there, just a brief interim, but we are back, and we are here to talk about the All Out of Bubblegum top 250 perennial favorite, Hard Boiled. What do you think is probably the prime appeal of Hard Boiled?
Oh, for me it was just the carnage. The squib work, the exploding furniture, and just the impact of everything.
It's John Woo just telling like, this is my goodbye to Hong Kong. Please have everything. I'm just gonna put everything I ever wanted to put on the screen. Just fucking have it right here. There's all of it.
It does feel like he's reacting to himself in a lot of ways. You know, people are kneeling and spinning and doing all the John Woo moves in slow motion, and there is just a almost, I guess I'll just say, excessive amount of carnage, as you put it, Marty. There are things exploding with every gunshot, and there's sparks, there's particles, people are flying through the air, so much glass is breaking. It is an incredibly dynamic film.
Yeah, I'd seen this film before, but I still felt, while watching it now, I felt like I have never seen anything like this before. It was just so balls to the wall, full on. It was like, I can't even come up with words other than amazing, really, at this point.
It is wild. One thing I noticed is just how much the camera moves. For some reason, I didn't have that in my head before, but it is very apparent upon this last rewatch that the camera there, it's not just zooming, but it's always on like a dolly swooping around. And he used several handheld shots. I didn't even notice this before, but there's just a lot of stuff like that. He's always whipping around in this one.
Yeah, I made a note of that. Like at the end of the long wonder in the hospital, there's like right before the cut. It's going around a corner, and they sped it up.
Yeah,
clearly because it didn't go fast enough, and it just suddenly it looks like something out of like Evil Dead or something.
Yeah, very Raimi kind of movements. This was the first John Woo Hong Kong film that I'd ever seen.
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
I think same. I think this was my first John Woo Hong Kong film.
Consequently, kind of spoiled the other movies because I watched them in reverse order almost. I watched this, then The Killer, Once a Thief, then the Better Tomorrow movies. And I wish I'd seen them in the opposite way to appropriately ramp up to this, because everything else was like...
You don't start with the best.
No, I was like, it's good. It's not hard-boiled, though, is it?
Yeah.
You didn't go back and was like, oh, Legend of Chivalry, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's what is good. That was the good stuff.
And I went all the way back, to the Young Dragons and such. Then I was okay. I see his forming as a director.
Yeah, because you did start like a video essay series, didn't you, where you were gonna watch all his directorial effort?
Yeah, that's back in 2008.
Yeah, then just kind of tired off of watching like 50 Chinese opera movies.
But he did several kind of fighting films, and one of them had Jackie Chan. Then he went immediately into these comedies.
In hard boiled, it's really impractical.
Yeah.
There's 2 guys I need to kill. Let's get a 1-bullet gun.
Well, he's literally in a room chock full of every weapon imaginable, and that's the one he chose. He knows that he's got 2 opponents, and he picks the gun with 1 bullet. But maybe that's, in a way, it kind of foreshadows his honor system.
Yeah, it does. The scene with the cripples and the nurses between Ellen and that guy. What's his name? Do we know?
Well, Mad Dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog. Philip Quark, the goat henchman.
The one-eyed guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scene with the cripples and the nurses between Mad Dog and Ellen is amazing. It's just like this. You have to take a breath during all the carnage. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and that is playing off of the big shootout between Chow Yun-fat and the other henchman, the big bad henchman in Better Tomorrow 2.
Oh.
And they slide the guns across to each other and then just shoot each other up. I watched a decade and a half of other filmmakers try and do what John Woo does, and no one can do it.
There's been some good imitators, but nothing as good as he made.
No, just go watch The Replacement Killers.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Which I like. I like the movie, but this is not John Woo. He wants to be John Woo. He's just not.
Yeah, it's like they can imitate elements of his style, 1 or 2 of the elements, but nobody can copy like the combined package of what John Woo delivers with all the elements.
Yeah. So what do you think of Chow Yun-fat's transition from gangster to cop?
Oh, I never really thought about it, because this is his first proper cop performance in a John Woo movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Gangster in a Better Tomorrow, and I guess Gangster in a Better Tomorrow too, but twin of Gangster.
Yeah.
Who has a little bit brain damage, but then forgets to have brain damage. But that's a weird movie, A Better Tomorrow 2. Great action, really, really weird stuff in the middle. That was something happened, pull out all the guns and just fucking fire in every direction.
What, they ordered tea? Let's fuck them up.
That is a good question there. It's like, what are they doing? Because my understanding is that they're trying to break up a weapons trade.
Yeah, I thought they were just observing a weapons trade or something.
The guy who spills the tea that starts the whole thing, is he a cop or a bad guy, or is he just like a really shitty tea house employee?
Here's your fucking tea, bitch.
My favorite part of that scene is actually there's, everyone's kind of doing the fluid movements and such, and then one guy kind of tries to hop up on like a counter, and he doesn't make it, and then he just gets shot.
One shot, like from outside of a cop car, and that looks like it's from the opening of Police Squad, where there's just they did a Police Squad shot.
Yeah, behind the
Police Squad in color. Starring Leslie Nielsen.